Welcome back to Warthog the News. This week, Gaijin has started to reveal the Operation Shipyard, or wherever the event is called, vehicles. There was also some data mines going on that revealed some interesting things, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about these event vehicles. Starting off with the one that's actually interesting, the VT-12 Doppellahor Kazmatpanzer. I'm just going to call it the VT-12. I was struggling to write down the script of this part of the video because this tank is just really weird. And it's weirder than it just looks on the surface. So let's just name the facts about it. It has two L44 cannons, one with an autoloader and one without. It has vertical gun stabilizers and no horizontal movement for the guns. To move the guns, you have to move the entire tank. I know that sounds awful and like the tank's going to be dead on arrival, but according to, I think it's actually cryptically put into the dev blog, but also to some forum mods, they have developed a way for it to still point at the mouse when you are aiming. I don't know the details because the tank's not out yet, and they haven't actually directly said exactly how it's going to work, which they should have done in the dev blog, but this setup is similar to the S-Tank, or the Swedish Stridsvagn 103, so it's very possible the addition of this event tank is a hint towards a Swedish tech tree in the near future. Similar to how the event FJ4B with bullpup missiles kind of hinted towards the F100, which was also armed with bullpup missiles. But that is just a speculation. The VT-12 is also pretty fast, getting a max speed of 70 kilometers an hour, and has no armor. And when I say that, I mean literally no armor. It says in the dev blog, in the historical bit, that it was made out of structural non-armor steel, and later states that Gaijin had indeed included this feature for the in-game version. Gaijin, of course, had some slimy reasons for this about not having enough data for actual models, or they have no idea what the armor would be like. Sure, whatever, I guess. I'll buy it. Mostly because this tank could benefit from the no armor, best armor scenario. As I said, it goes 70 kilometers an hour, although probably would be like 8.3. Those speeds aren't too uncommon up there. However, also this thing, despite having no armor, looks like there's a lot that a shell could get tripped up on and create a lot of shrapnel, so it's possible it won't benefit from that. Although another thing I should take into mind is them actually modeling out of the material that it was made out of, opposed to making it up, is something I would actually support, because I don't like it when Gaijin starts making up stuff. Last important detail to pick up from the dev blog is that it's not going to be a premium, as it says directly that you will start out with HeatFS and have to unlock the APFSDS. Interesting fact about this vehicle is that there actually are two other variants of it, one armed with two 105mm cannons, I assume like on the Leopard, and one armed with fake guns, so essentially a training tank. Also, many aspects of this vehicle come from the KPZ-70 project, so it's possible this might have hydraulic suspension. To really see how this thing performs and what's under its hood, we're gonna have to wait for it to be in-game, which will probably be like a week into, or maybe less, of the event, and the content creators will be able to drive it out a little days early. The other event vehicle dev blog was for the MBK 161 1943, which is like the C-34 but thick. Really, that's what it looks like. It has the same T-34 turrets, has a mortar and a 37 and 45 in the back. Oh yeah, and it's really slow, going about 13 to 14 knots, about 25 kilometers an hour. Essentially, it may sound impressive, like, oh, it's a Russian flak barge, but really, it's just PGO2 bait. It's premium at least, so there's something. The other two event vehicles are the, you're not going to believe this, Whirlwind P9, a plane that was already available for a separate event. An event I didn't do because I wasn't in the mood. I'm not in the mood for a lot of these events. But hey, I guess it's another chance to pick it up. It's not too interesting. I think it has more guns or more ammo or better guns. I don't remember the details. I'm not going to go bother to look it up because it's an airplane. I think you can even go test drive it if it's on the marketplace. The fourth event vehicle is rather interesting as we haven't seen a event helicopter yet. However, this one is actually just a H-34 for the US tree armed with a bunch of rockets, including bullpups. Well, a bullpup in a 20mm gun pod. Now, it's a bit annoying that a indigenous US helicopter is only going to be available as a event vehicle and not in their main tree, as I feel they should be because they use it more than the French. However, it is nice to see in the game. I've not heard on whether the bullpups are going to be mouse aimed or WASD aimed like they are an aircraft, that's going to be very interesting. The SS-11s that are on helicopters are mouse aimed opposed to WASD aimed, despite them being WASD aimed missiles. I have a feeling it is going to be mouse aimed because that's just how they do it with helicopters, and if so, it's going to be a pretty devastating missile. However, also a lot of it relies on what battle rating we're going to see it at. As has only one ATGM and a bunch of rockets, and the performance of the helicopter itself isn't that great. I don't think it's going to be that high at all. I couldn't see it higher than 9.0. However, I also feel that it's worse than the US starter helicopter. Well, the flight performance is, armament's not as great, although that bullpup, once again, could be amazing. And there's no word on whether it's a premium or not. I'm going to lean towards not a premium because it seems like one of the more pricey event vehicles. However, the Whirlwind, we know for sure, is already a premium. However, on the Russian dev blog for this, some questions were indeed answered by the administrators. This one person asked, excuse me, this is Google Translate, so it's a little weird, just hold with me. Is there a chance that there will be more than 6 cars in this marathon? And the reply from KioFox was, this time 4 prizes. Now we are trying to simplify the mechanics of stocks, including improving the interface. You will see the announcement soon. So far the announcement has not come up. Personally, I'm expecting it sometime today. However, this video is going to go up as soon as I can make it, so I'll have to make a separate video on that. But what I'm hoping from that is they have improved the crafting system to be more easily understood and not have any stupid RNG in it. However, I'm quite pessimistic and feel that they didn't, but a little bit of optimism in me to say they did. Although overall, I'm just disappointed that there's no ships in the shipyard event. Bit of a missed opportunity there, and also it would go really well with the current naval enduring confrontation tests that we are seeing currently. The other major story is about some data mines that caught my eye. One of them about something pretty explosive, literally, and the other about some boats. So let's get to the boat one first. This one was made by Sonoda Katori, and I'm gonna read it verbatim as he kind of covers all the points that I normally would without adding unnecessary fluff. So starting off was a Torpedo 533mm SI-250. Could be for cruisers, destroyers, or submarines. Before you get all hyped, I have 2 things to say. First of all, the Italian Navy is most likely to be the next one, and that is because they actually have full finished models of various Italian vessels. In fact, quite a few of them were in the previous pre-beta tests. However, Stortine Dude had confirmed that there will be no more navies added to the game this year, so don't get too hyped just yet. Next file was for a Torpedo 533mm Type 89. This is either the 1929 submarine launched torpedo or the 1989 submarine-launched homing torpedo. I'm going to agree with Sonoda Katori and say it's most likely the 1929. I don't think we're going to get modern-day homing submarine torpedoes. But before you get all hyped for submarines, I have to tell you, this isn't the first submarine torpedo found in the files. There was quite a few, so we'll relax there until we get some more concrete evidence. Next one is the TT 610mm Type 93 twin, which I believe is a torpedo turret that can go on the Nagara, Yabari, or Sendai class light cruiser, or the Aoba class heavy cruiser. Then there's the turret 13mm Type 93 quadruple, which can go on the Mayoko class heavy cruiser, Nagara or Sendai class light cruiser after refit, or Atago class heavy cruiser. And then the final one for the turret 45mm SM-20 Zif quadruple, which is a Russian anti-aircraft gun that would go on the Project 41. I'm not going to read the names of these ships. I can hardly pronounce the Japanese ones, let alone these crazy Russian ones. Class destroyer, Project 56, Project 56K, and Project 56EM class destroyer, and Project 23 class battleship, as well as the Project 82 Stalingrad class battlecruiser. Overall, some pretty interesting vessels that we may see in the game. Most likely not the futuristic ones, like I doubt we're going to get the Project 56EM class destroyer. And just because files of a ship are popping up right now doesn't mean that we're going to see that ship anytime soon. As the last time I talked about a ship part data mine from this guy, it came to be, or at least a few of them came to be, like 3 months later. Now the other data mine was actually done by Iron Physic, and in the files he found a 3,000 pound bomb. I told you it'd be explosive. And luckily for him, it wasn't a live one. What it was a bomb that was carried by the F-105. Sometimes the F-104, but more often than not, it was the F-105 that was carrying it. However, it was not complete. Its values were all placeholders. But I feel this makes it very likely that we're going to see the F-105 in the next patch. Random fact from Iron Physic about this bomb is that later on they developed a laser-guided variant of it. That would be terrifying to see in War Thunder. So that's all the news for you. Before I sign out, I first want to give a thank you to Perk You Up, Waffly Joker 6, and the Royal Rat. Thank you very much for joining my channel. If you wish to join my channel, you'll get some early uploads and a unique Discord role. You can do so by hitting the join button and it only costs $5 a month. But if you have any comments, concerns, or questions, be sure to hit me down below or on my Discord. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you did not like the video, do not hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I make War Thunder weekly news videos every Sunday. I make random videos throughout the week, and I make streams on Saturday. I also like to stream on Twitch, so be sure to follow me there and hit that bell icon to be notified anytime I upload anything. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. As bonus news, my Discord mod CT Center had dug up some things in the files that were changed just this morning, and he found something called hull aiming active. And from what it sounds like, well, the hull aiming. So you'll be able to aim with the hull or whatever. You know, it's for the VT-12. Also, Foxtrot wants to be in the video, so here you go, Foxtrot.